like to have for Mother's Day.
Beautiful landscaping.
Okay, girls, you need to get out here and do some landscaping for your mother. So our little project for today, it's Mother's Day, and this bush right here has seen its better days for whatever reason. Actually, these bushes came from my cousin's house. My cousin Alex bought my grandma and grandpa's house about 6-7 years ago. A couple of years ago, we tore the house down and buried it, and my cousin Alex built a new house at the site of what was my grandparents' homestead. I hated the idea of ripping out all of her old boxwood bushes, and so did my wife actually, so we decided we'd try to transplant them over here. How many of these are transplants?
5.
So in the process of moving these, we used 5, but I dug out about 6. So one of them resides over at my wife's parents' house. So we'll pop this guy out of the ground, run over to her parents, and steal the one that's planted in the woods and transplant it here. Right?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's try it.
See, there's new growth. A couple of new little buds. And there's a whole bunch of new growth back here. So I really do think it'll come back. There's a whole bunch of new growth.
You gonna dig it out? I'll record you digging it out. No, I'll dig it out. Oh, the ground's hard too.
Not bad.
I tore these out with the excavator.
Was that easier?
The excavator's easier than digging them back in.
Yeah, try not to cut too many roots.
Earth's moving. Loose. How are we gonna move this?
I don't know.
Let's go get reinforcements. Kira wants me to pick up that bush and put it in a little red wagon, but and then I don't know how I'm going to get it over there. But I have another idea instead of the wagon. I think this will be easier to use than a little red wagon. Now would be the time, if you're watching this and you think I'm nuts for trying to save this boxwood bush, let me know in the comment. Would you save this bush?
There's all kinds of new growth. Give it about 3 years, it will be flourishing.
Look for a future video where this thing is vibrant and new again.
And
that'll
we're
be interesting.
This one.
Yeah, we'll be
transplanting
transplanting this one back into the landscaping because some other one died. We're going to take this bush to the Boxwood clinic at my mother-in-law's. Most people, I think, would throw it on the burn pile, myself included. If they want to try to save it, we'll probably be replanting it again. All right. Okay, we got all our stuff.
Potting soil.
We need to get potting soil. All right, let's get potting soil and let's get going. So let me take an opportunity right here to say, as I struggle to get the tractor and the forks and the grater box all in between all these little bitty trees, that maybe my wife's idea of the little red wagon wasn't such a bad idea after all, because I'm having a heck of a time getting this thing snaked through there. So much so that I actually get the grater box hung up on a little tree. You can see it bending over there on the left-hand side of your screen. I actually ruined that tree, and you'll see it when I flip the camera around and try to back up. Right there it was. So I decided to take the grater box off the back, and maybe I'll have a better shot of getting myself snaked through there with minimal damage. And then I won't feel so bad about using the tractor to haul that bush back there. But I eventually find the right line through these trees and get myself back to where this healthy bush is growing. Now this one looked bad when we first dug it out from Alex's house too. But it kind of came back to life and looked relatively good compared to the one we're going to put in its place. And so maybe in a couple of years they can bring this one back to life. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Alrighty. Okay, so we got the dead bush put back in where the good bush was. And now we got to take the good bush back home and see if we can make it grow. I should have got more video of me coming in here, especially when I was knocking that tree down. Now getting back out of the woods didn't prove to be nearly as troublesome as it was getting in there. So I don't know what the difference is by going reverse, but for some reason I was able to back right out without any trouble. Got hooked back up to the grater box in relatively short order, and then I didn't feel so bad about using the tractor to go back into the woods. But anyway, got back home, got that bush around to the side of the house, and now we're going to start the process of getting it planted. And as you'll find out, sometimes you've got to do a little experimenting in order to get things placed perfectly. So as I put a little fertilizer down, I fluff up the dirt, and I think it looks a little too deep. We'll see. It's too deep.
Is it? I told you I'm not a good judge. You should know what's in the name.
I need you to say that again loudly into the camera. What, I was right?
Well, maybe a little bit. Okay.
So if you missed that, what the problem here is, I had the hole just a little bit too deep, so I just quickly threw some dirt back in it, raised it up, turned the bush around, no problems. That was an easy fix. Now I'm actually going to switch from the forks to the dirt bucket so that I can grab a little bit of extra dirt to put around the base of that bush and kind of help stabilize it. I always try to keep a little bit of dirt around, although I'm running low here, but I got a pile behind the grain bin slab, and I'm just taking the bucket and kind of churning that dirt up. I pick it up, dump it out, smash it down with a bucket to kind of bust up any of those big clods, and then eventually I'll scoop up what's left so that I can take that over there and easily shovel it out of the bucket onto the base of that bush.
I don't know. That or if you just pack the dirt around the bottom enough, I don't know. What do you think?
If you want it to go down, I'll dig it back up.
Well, I don't know. I think it could go down just a fuzz. I mean, not a lot.
Okay, in case you missed that, what the problem was, I had the bush a little too high now, so just tipped it up out of its hole and dug out a little bit from underneath. It went down pretty easily, so no big deal there. That was an easy fix.
What happened? We somehow ended up with about 6 inches and about 6 feet.
Trim it off more on that side.
Yeah.
You were watching it the whole time.
I was standing off to the side. I trusted that you looked.
It's in the same hole, Kara.
Sweetheart, take a look.
So have to redo it again?
Well, look! I can't even get through to get the hose.
Especially because it has more foliage on that side than this side. Once you trim your bush, it'll be nice. That didn't come out right.
I know, but it still needs to go this way more. I would say it needs to come...
It's going to be all mud.
6 inches your way, probably.
Oh, 6 inches, Kara.
Maybe just 2.
All right, well, in case you missed it, I didn't have the bush centered correctly in between these other 2 bushes. So measure twice, dig once. The moral of the story is, whatever makes mama happy, you do it. Well, I think that'll do it for today. Honey DIY project for Mother's Day 2020 complete. So you got a little Mother's Day gift today?
Yep, got my new toy. Hedge trimmer.
So we can trim up the boxwoods?
Yep, lots to practice on.
Let me see you try it.
Okay. Alright, see if we can shape up this.
This is the new one we just planted last week. It's been a week already.
I don't want to get, too aggressive on it, but at least give it a little shape, so. Alright. Looks a little lopsided.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to get too aggressive on it, you know. We'll slowly get them shaped up a little more.
So we thought we'd just use this new hedge trimmer a little bit until the battery went dead and we'd be done for the day because it was starting to rain, but as you can see here, it just kept going and going and going, and before we knew it, we were actually able to get all of the bushes done. So that thing really impressed me in the amount of time that it will run. Although we weren't being super aggressive with it, it did work really well, and we got all of our boxwood bushes trimmed up. We did all that.
Yeah, it only took about an hour, and before I used to have to split it up into 2 days because I would do them all with these right here. And then I couldn't move my hand for a few days afterwards. But so this is awesome. I love it. And it made it fun too. Kind of addicting.
So it was good Mother's Day?
Perfect. You know, I like tools.
I like tools. Everybody likes getting tools. So.
Yep.
All right. Well.
Especially the ones that save time.
Well, I guess that concludes our Mother's Day. We got your Boxwood switcheroo done and tried out the new Stihl trimmer. I don't even know what model that is or anything. But it lasted the whole time. About an hour we ran that. Trimmed all the boxwoods. And now we probably won't use it for the rest of the summer. So the only thing I thought was it kind of made my hand cramp up.
Yeah,
from
towards
trying to
the
hold
end,
this switch the whole time.
But try these. And then
all right. Well, thanks for joining us on this one. I know it was a little bit different than excavating or dirt work, but it was what we were working on at the time. So this is a DIY thing, but it's a honeydew DIY. All right. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.